Hey, Pranjal here. Let's talk about metaverse startups today and why I feel that most of these metaverse startups are gonna die. I'm not talking about meta and all, but most of the startups that call themselves meta startups trying to take the hype because of the term metaverse. So if you see the trend of metaverse, like how startups are building their products right now, you can see some of the products in some very similar lines. And that is either they are building a meeting tool or they are building a metaverse platform where people can roam around. Like it's a multiplayer game with RTC on, so multiple people can join the session and they can move around, talk to each other with a 3D environment. That's it. I'll talk and I have a series of discussions on my self-realizations being an active user on this kind of platforms, just to test things out of curiosity, how these platforms basically retain their users. So let's talk about that. Now let's start from how user gets to know about this platform. Okay, as you know, like in today's world there's a lot of media hype regarding the word metaverse. So mostly these tools or these platforms use the same keywords to get the user's attention. That's how they get their first user attention. Second part is what happens when the user joins. So 99% of the cases what will happen is user will roam around for 10 to 15 minutes, explore the 3D environment, maybe very rarely might turn his mic on to talk to the people roaming around there. That is also very rare cases. So I have been actively doing this. Okay, so whenever any new metaverse startup launches, I actively sign in, go there, try to see what new it brings. And some of the realizations are, first of all, there are very few active users in such kind of platform. So user just logins because there was media hype, and after that they'll roam around for 15 minutes. That's it. They'll never gonna turn around and log into the portal again unless something very crazy happens there. That's very rare cases. Most of these platforms are built for web, right? And being an Oculus user myself, I can tell that this kind of experience in web versus using a VR headset, it is way different. There's a zameen asman ka difference in both the experiences. Since there's not enough user acquisition with this headset, so mostly these platforms are built for web, just so that they can be in the game of VR and metaverse. But again, this experience are not enough like in web. It's just like roaming around in a VR web portal, just a simple multiplayer game, but not even engaging enough to be called as a game. They are just a 3D environment with voice RTC and multiplayer on. That's it. Now another problem is most of these platforms either they are web GPL or pixel stream to the users. Okay, so I'll talk on like what both of these are. Web RTC is basically this platform use customers or end clients hardwares to load the entire 3D environment as well as the player, everything basically, the entire platform. And the problem with that is not a lot of people have a very good build a gaming machine, so they would not be able to enjoy that platform. It would take a lot of time, more than 5 to 10 minutes, just to deliver the packages and so that user can use that stuff. So web RTC does not work. Second thing is using pixel streaming to deliver their environment to the user. So what pixel streaming is? Let's talk about YouTube just for a minute so that you can understand the concept of pixel streaming. YouTube videos are not downloaded to your devices, but it is streamed to your devices. So pixel streaming is more like you will be able to control the player, everything. It is basically two-way interactivity, but the entire platform would not be running on your device, but it would be just streaming on your device and actually running on the clouds. Pro about this is that it instantly loads within like 20-30 seconds because this is mostly run through the power of cloud. The GPUs are powerful in general. But the cons about this is very heavy cost to the companies. Like just serving to one user for 1 hour, they might spend around $2 a minimum to just serve that particular user for around 2 hours. So the cost of pixel streaming or cloud streaming is really high. So unless they have some kind of e-commerce activity or e-com activity going on in that platform with very active user engagement, it would be impossible for them to self-sustain this platform. Now, both of the solutions, right? First one does not serve to the user, second one does not serve to the company. So we are still trying to find a way where we can actually have a proper zero-sum kind of environment so that even users benefit as well as the companies benefit. Now, some of these companies they host some very big events. Okay, so this is the only way how this companies can generate revenue as of now, like hosting some very big events sponsored by really big brands. So you can see like a boat sponsored one of such events. Again, after that event there would not be any user using the platform. So this happens every time. Let's talk to the second wave of the company, that is meeting platforms. So a lot of companies are building meeting tools for the virtual reality, right? Consider from organization's point of view, okay? Most of this organization don't have their workflow in virtual reality yet. Why would any organization invest in like this headsets for all of their employees just so that they can join a 3D meeting? That does not make sense, right? That's not proper return of investment. We should first focus on bringing the most important workflows in the virtual reality. If we can have something that can let user design everything in general very easily in VR. Of course, these are the core problems that we need to solve first, rather than just making a meeting app that is very easy to develop. Right? Of course, this gives most of the startup a kickstart, like where they can call themselves a metaverse startup and they will have a project to showcase to people that okay, we have skin in the game and basically virtual reality. But I think it's more important to solve users' real problem first, rather than building things that are really easy to build. This is why I would say that most of the startups that are working on similar lines, like just having a 3D environment, people can roam around with RTC on, and they call them metaverse. So they are gonna die unless and until they have solved this problem that I have listed. That is, first, proper user retention rate. That's very hard to get unless you solve any core problem of the user. And second one is finding a way so that a midway where you can solve like nor the WebRTC way and neither the cloud streaming way. There should be a proper balance so that it should work for the company also as well as the user. Maybe if you are using cloud streaming, have a proper self-sustaining business model attached with itself so that it would end up making revenue if you have proper user retention. So yeah, that's the conclusion. Bye.